Hi, welcome to Bear Mountain. Well, the fall rains have finally come to the farm, and we've had our first big rainstorms here in the last couple of days, and today is a little bit stormy, on and off, thunderstorms, that sort of thing. So we thought we'd take an opportunity to maybe just stand back and maybe sharpen some of our tools that we use out in the field. So I thought today would be a great opportunity to try out a new knife sharpener. We got this idea from Curtis Stone at the Urban Farmer, and it really does work well. It's a very slick little tool called the Work Sharp Outdoor Sharpener. They have various models, but this one is their basic one. And the interesting thing about Work Sharp is we're an Oregon farm and they're an Oregon company. This is an American-made tool, and it's really pretty slick. It's actually, the company is called Darex LLC, and they're out of Ashland, Oregon. So give a shout out to Ashland. Anyway, this is just a really slick little tool that automates the sharpening process. You have some emery paper, the various grits depending on what you're doing. And this is a green, which is a little bit of a coarse grit, because today what we're doing is we're sharpening tools. We're going to sharpen a couple of different things. Hand pruners, a hand hoe called a Bachi Gata. We're also going to put a new edge on our Collinear hoe, as well as our stirrup or hula hoe. And just wanted to show you a demonstration about how fast and how slick this thing is. You can get this tool on Amazon or Cabela's or any place like that. We'll have a link down below that gets you onto Amazon, and it's really an inexpensive tool. It's about 60 bucks, and it works really slick. So the first tool that we're going to sharpen today is the hand tool, is the hand hoe, the Bachi Gata, and this edge on it is fairly blunt. Now the interesting thing about this is the way the belt itself works is it conforms to the angle that's already on the tool. So when you press in, it will change and it will hone to keep the exact same edge. So there's no longer having to worry about, you know, that you're maybe off or you're getting on the wrong angle. It's a fairly quick grinding tool, so you want to make sure to wear eye protection when you're using it. Okay, so the first tool we're going to sharpen is our Bachi Gata, which is a hand hoe. It's a Japanese hand tool. And the angle on the Bachi Gata is actually not very steep. Because this is a grubbing tool, it doesn't necessarily have to be sharp like an axe or anything of that nature. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this and press it in at the appropriate angle, and then when we grind, we'll grind downward away from us. So you can turn it on, it's up to speed, just gently press in. And now, what you can see is that we have a nice blade on the end. Sharpened up pretty well. Matter of fact, if you want it sharper, you can go a little longer. I still have a few dings in it right there to get out, but basically, it only takes a few minutes to get the job done. So, let's go on to the next tool. The next one is our handheld. These are our Felco number 8 pruners. And I don't know if you can see it definitely, but in the blade itself we have a few dings in here, things that we have done inappropriately and kind of messed the blade up a little bit. This is an hammer or anvil type pruner. In other words, the blade is it's a one-sided blade, one bevel on one side, and the bottom basically is a hold. So you're squeezing the blade against the hold, and that's how the cutting action works. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the tool and work along the bevel, just basically going out, and put a new blade on it. So we start up the tool. Gets a little tricky because of the angle. we can see we have a very sharp blade right now. And that one's good to go, and all the dings are gone. If I was a little better, I could have got in a little tighter into the center, so I'll just have to work on that, my technique. But basically, it did a really good job. And that's all there is to that one. Now, we have a second set of pruners. In this case, they're beveled on opposite sides. So they both blades are actually cutting blades for these needle type flower pruners. And what we're going to do is kind of the same thing. We'll open this up a little bit wider, and we're going to grind against the bevel, out, and then flip it around and do it the other way. So we're going to make sure that we're angled with the blade correctly. All right. Okay, that one's actually done pretty well. I'll just flip it over and do the other side. In essence, now it's perfectly sharpened up, and you can feel the sharpness of the blade. We took all the dings out of it. It actually looks pretty good. So the Bachi Gata is, we did one pass on it. We're just going to do another one just to kind of give it a little bit more of an edge. And again, you're putting the grinder itself towards the bevel and going down, or at least consistently in one direction to get an even grind. And so in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to go downhill. I'll get it started here. And hopefully we have it so you can see the grind. And it is actually, it's got a really good edge on it right now. Okay, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're finished it. We've got a pretty good blade on this guy. This will go through the weeds pretty fast. The Stirrup Hoe it's a two-sided blade, and the whole action behind it is it's a back and forth cutting motion. It cuts when it pulls towards you and cuts when you push away. So this blade here needs to be a bit sharpened, and it has a bevel on both sides. And so what we'll do is we'll start with the outside, and the interesting thing about this blade is it curves around. So the blade doesn't stop right here, it actually curves around all the way to the edge of it. So what we'll do is we'll hold the stirrup in a pretty firm way, and then we'll start the process from the outside and work all the way over to the other side. Now we got the outside done here, and we'll just kind of continue it around. The whole idea is what we're trying to do is take out the dings out of the blade and kind of give it a good bevel or a good sharpening. that's pretty much it for the outside, I think. And what we'll do is we'll turn it around here very slowly to give you an idea. We sharpened all along in here. So the actual sharpened part is actually a very narrow part of the bevel itself, but it's actually quite sharp. You can feel it on my fingers. So imagine it'll do a pretty good number on the weeds. So then we'll do the same thing to the inside, but what we'll have to do is kind of turn things around, because we're going to do the same thing, unless of course you're left-handed, in which case I guess you wouldn't have to do it that way. Make sure all the dirt and grime is off this thing. Okay, and now we're going to do the same idea. And that's it. Again, the actual sharpened part of the blade is very small where the edge is, and it stayed with the bevel itself, so this tool should be really good to go for killing some weeds. So anyway, that's the workshop tool sharpener. It also sharpens knives. The kit itself comes with a couple of guides, so you can sharpen indoor knives as well as hunting knives. You can basically sharpen anything that has a blade. Today we just demonstrated a couple of things, our pruning shears and our handheld hoe, plus a couple of our weeding implements. But this thing can sharpen anything. Loppers come to mind, hedge clippers, or even electric hedge shears, lawnmower blades. And again, it comes down to basically anything that has a beveled blade. This will do a very good job on. We have some links below that you can follow that'll get you to more information on it and where to buy it, as well as be sure to check out some of our other links that we have in there that just give you like to our website, and you know, there's many blog entries on our website where we talk about a number of things that have gone on here on the farm, as well as be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel itself. If you see the little logo flashing up in the corner, that is hit that and you can subscribe to the YouTube station that we have here. Anyway, want to thank you guys for watching today, and be sure to, like I said, to subscribe, and you guys have a good day. Thanks for watching.